Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Gabriela. I make videos about astrology, fragrance, self-care, mental health, actor life. I do vlogs and basically whatever else I feel like talking about. So if that sounds like your jam, please stick around and subscribe. Love to have you here. Today is another video in my Venus sign series, and we are going with Venus in Sagittarius. We only have one left after this, which is Venus in Capricorn. So let's dive in to Venus in Sagittarius. So if you're newer to astrology, Venus is the planet of love. It is the Aphrodite planet, the planet of beauty and friendship and a bit how you spend your money. Those are the kind of influences that Venus has in your life. So wherever your Venus is placed, whatever sign your Venus is in, is colored by that sign. It has a lot to do with who you might fall in love with and how you love others. I've got some notes here on my phone. Let's jump in. So Sagittarius is ruled by the planet Jupiter. Jupiter is a planet of expansion. It's big. It's about luck and good fortune and freedom to express, to expand. So people with Venus in Sagittarius need freedom. They need room. Wide open spaces, yeah. Room to make a big mistake. She needs new faces. That song is Venus in Sagittarius all the way. Now, Sagittarius placements and the sign, they have a reputation for not wanting to commit. But I know a lot of Sagittarians that really enjoy monogamous relationships. I think it's more about if they feel trapped, if they're iffy about the relationship, if they feel like it might hinder them, they won't commit, because Sagittarians know how to create a very happy life for themselves by themselves. They're very, very positive people. They're very independent, so they don't need to be in a partnership to be happy. So in terms of a Venus in Sagittarius, getting with one, you need to be bringing things to the table that enrich their life, that make their life better, not fill their life with drama or unhappiness or arguments or pettiness, because they don't need any of that and they are happier alone. So unfortunately, a lot of relationships, people can bring a lot of drama into relationships. And I think Sagittarian placements are just not down for that. They will not commit to you if they think you are going to bring them down. I cannot stop itching my nose. Oh my gosh. Don't save her, she don't wanna be saved. That's another Sagittarius anthem. They don't want to be saved. They don't need to be saved. Venus in Sagittarius, they're not looking for the princess or the white knight to come and make their life a fairy tale. They don't need that. They don't need to be rescued from their life. They are their own hero. They are their own rescuer. And they are really not looking for somebody who's trying to lock them down fast. I've spoken about this with friends before, especially Venus and Sagittarius friends. I was having this conversation about how everybody kind of ridicules the talking stage, which I think is kind of just millennial dating. We just call it dating. It's before you commit to someone. It's the time that you use to get to know them. That's very important for Sagittarius placements, and I think it should be important for everybody. Why are you committing to potential? You need to know that person before you take yourself off the market. You know, aren't you worth that? And wouldn't you want to be with someone else who also knows that they're worthy of a great relationship, not just potential? Why would you want to date someone who takes themselves off the market so quickly? It's a little desperate, isn't it? So they're not looking for people who are like, I'm looking for any relationship. Do you want to be in a relationship with me? Great, now my life is saved. No. People say they're scared of commitment, all of that, but I think Sagittarius placements have a really healthy relationship to love, a healthy view on love, a healthy approach to dating. Sagittarians can be impulsive and all of that, but when it comes to love, it's really like slow and steady wins the race with them. They're in it with you right now. They're in this moment, they're present, and we'll see where it goes. And some people might not like that, because some people are like, after 3 weeks, I need you to commit to me. But I'll save my opinion on that. But I think Venus in Sagittarius has a very healthy approach to love. They are not quick to dive into things because they've already fallen in love with their own life. Like I said, it's kind of like, you know, you better be bringing something to the table, but I don't need a partner to show me that life is wonderful. Life is already wonderful whether I have a partner or not. Now, I will say Venus in Sagittarius, they do move on if they don't see potential. They're not time wasters. They are like, do I feel something with this person? Do I see this going anywhere, or am I really enjoying myself? No? Move on. So that might be hard for people who have dated Venus and Sag, because they do move on fast and they're not going to be moping. Again, they're optimists, sometimes to a point where it's like, I don't even want to feel the bad feelings, so I'm just going to move on, move on, move on. Similar to Venus and Gemini in that sense. But yeah, they're not time wasters. And a Venus in Sagittarius recently said to me, I don't go on dates, I don't go on a first date looking for my wife. I go on a first date looking to have a good time, have a drink with somebody and get to know them. That's it. If they don't like me back, if I don't like them, that's fine. But I'm just here to be present and to have a nice time over some drinks, which I think is great, because entering the dating world with this fantasy idea in your head, it's never going to be that. But that's a whole other video. Venus and Sag need to date people who can take teasing, who are lighthearted, who are also optimistic. There is nothing that's going to be more of a turnoff than a mopey person who does nothing about their life for a Venus and Sagittarius. Venus has a lot to do with attraction when it comes to love. Sure, Mars is like what turns us on and things like that, but Venus is the kind of qualities that we fall in love with. And a Venus in Sagittarius will not fall in love with someone who is mopey, who constantly complains about their life but does nothing to change it, who is too sensitive to jokes, who can't take things lightly, who also is maybe, I don't know how to put this, like too PC or easily offended by anything or doesn't like dark humor. They need to be able to engage in sort of offbeat types of humor and not be like, I don't get that, or that's weird, or that's not funny. I mean, of course, don't be out here being ignorant and bigoted, but it's like, lighten up, you know? They need somebody like that, which is why I would say Venus and Sagittarius, I would not necessarily pair them with water signs, especially Venus and Pisces, Venus and Cancer. Also on that note, because this is something that water signs can dwell on, they can dwell on the past a lot. If you are someone who needs to know all the details of your lover's past relationships and will use that as ammo and will bring it up and get jealous of it and make them feel bad about it and who they dated and what they're not going to have that. They're either just not going to be affected by it and literally laugh at you, or they will stop seeing you. Do not try to do that thing where you try to provoke them by bringing up their old relationships, because most of them, yeah, they've dated a lot. Like I said, they know when things aren't working, they move on, they've dated. So if you expect them to feel bad about that or you want to shame them for it, they don't appreciate that, and they don't appreciate people shaming them in general. It's not hot. They will not want you. They don't like jealous people. Think about Jupiter, that expansion planet, and you're trying to go like this and make their world smaller. I was literally flexing just then. No, they don't do it. They also will not do drama. They might like a bit of teasing, fun, things like that. Some Sagittarians like to be on the outside of drama because it's kind of a fire, like Leos too, like they like to be observing and knowing all the tea but not be a part of the drama. But yeah, if you're bringing bad vibes, jealousy, accusations that don't make any sense, they're not going to have it. And the thing is, it's probably not going to be this big conversation like, baby, can I talk to you? When you accuse me of cheating when I get text messages from my coworkers, it really hurts me. It's just going to be like, you won't hear from them again. They're not going to call you up for a date on Saturday. And then it's like, oh yeah, no, I mean, nothing's wrong. I just think, you know, we ran our course and it was great getting to know you. Bye. And they're not even trying to be passive aggressive. They're genuinely like, okay, I've moved on. This does not work. This energy does not work. So please keep your insecurities under control. Some people, especially water signs again, might feel like it's hard to get to know a Venus in Sagittarius because, again, they are so optimistic, sometimes to the point of pushing down any bad emotions, and they don't bond with lovers over trauma, tears, emotional things, deep secrets, unless there are other things in the chart. But they're gonna bond over laughter, shared senses of humor, shared taste, traveling together, learning new things, experimentation, things like that. Uplifting things rather than deep things that are emotional and feel quite heavy. For them, as fire signs, physical intimacy is not the highest expression of intimacy, of love. It can be, but they're not someone who's like, I'm gonna save myself for months and months until I get to, they are usually the type to get physically intimate quite early on because they need to know if you guys have that chemistry. I think fire signs in general, it can be important to know if we match that way, right? You'll often find a Venus in Sagittarius in love or partnered up with someone who's quite different than them. Different careers, different backgrounds, from a different country, dresses in a totally different way, has a totally different life experience. They're not the type that's gonna enjoy or feel fulfilled by staying in their hometown all their life and marrying somebody from the hometown and just, you know, they live the same old life and they both know the same restaurants and they know the same people. That's not really gonna light them up. Again, of course that might happen. I cannot generalize for everybody, but they are going to be very attracted to people different than them. It reminds me a little bit of Belle and the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. And yes, I know that's a whole issue because he literally kidnapped her and he's verbally abusive and okay, it's a Disney movie, y'all. But she is attracted to him because he's so different and has different experiences and she wants to know all about him. And it's sort of, she's not attracted to Gaston, who's the guy from her town, and everybody says he's good looking and he could provide everything for her. There must be more than this provincial life. I want adventure in the great wide somewhere. I wanted more than I can tell. So yeah, also giving me like Quasimodo vibes, but also maybe that's because of how he was raised. There, living in the sun, give me one day out there. He falls in love with Esmeralda. She's different than him, but also the same because they've both felt like outcasts. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this Belle. Oh, Ariel. God, this is just a running theme with Disney. But Ariel and Eric, she's like enamored by him. So especially if you are raising a Venus in Sagittarius and you control them and you try to like shelter them, they're going to do the exact opposite. They're going to pull an Ariel and go fall in love with some dude with legs and run away and go see a sea witch so that she can go get her D appointment on land, okay? Don't try, please do not try to overly control Sagittarius placements. It will backfire every time. Now, because they're very optimistic, people with Venus in Sagittarius can often put their partners on pedestals or overlook the bad things and exalt the good things about the relationship. I mean, we all kind of do this sometimes. I'm sure we've all had experiences where we let the good really outweigh some of the red flags and the bad that we just refuse to see. But it's something to be careful of because, you know, I've learned over my life putting a partner on a pedestal, no matter who they are and how wonderful you think they are, they're just a person and they're bound to disappoint you even more if you consider them a god. You know, if you consider them an idol, a perfect person, an angel, you're going to be disappointed even more because you're going to have to experience that fall from grace of like, oh my God, I thought you were perfect. And it's like, I never said I was perfect. You should know I'm human, right? Unless you're, you know, dating Zeus, take them off the pedestal. Venus and Sagittarians are always thinking, how can love help me grow? Just like, what does this love bring to the table? What does this love add to the feast? What kind of dishes? Are we bringing crumbs to the feast or are we bringing a baked mac and cheese? And, you know, some deep fried Oreos. What are we bringing here? How can love help me grow? How can love expand my horizons, expand my human experience, deepen and enrich my human experience, enrich the kind of love that I have? It's all about more expansion. For their good matches, I would say air signs and fire signs, especially Venus. So, you know, like a Venus in Sagittarius with a Venus in Gemini, or a Venus in Sagittarius, Venus in Libra, Venus in Sagittarius, Venus in Leo can be really fun. So I would say air and fire are my preferable matches. And then as far as love languages, I think quality time is probably a really big one for most Venus and Sagittarius people, because that can include taking trips, cooking new things, trying new things, expanding your horizons together requires presence and quality time. And like I said, they're living in the moment. A lot of them are really good at living in the moment, because when you're optimistic and you trust in the future and you're at peace with the past, you can be present. So that gives you the best quality time, is when you are in the here and now. Physical touch, maybe. I think air signs do enjoy, fire signs do enjoy physical touch. But for me, yeah, quality time is the one that really sticks out. Their type that they're gonna go for or be attracted to initially is gonna be someone lighthearted with a great sense of humor, optimistic, who seems stable, who seems independent. They're not gonna go for desperate types, people that seem thirsty, people who are like pick-me types, people who give off the vibe that they are looking for a partnership to complete their life, people who seem in a rush about love. No. They're going to be very attracted to experimental people. So whether that's how you live your everyday life and you just are in a niche part of society or in a niche lifestyle, or this could be, you know, it could translate to the BDSM lifestyle, or just anybody who is living proudly in a little bit of a different way, it's going to really intrigue them because they're also so curious. It's kind of like Venus and Scorpio. They're just so curious about things that they don't know. You definitely need to be someone who's comfortable giving people their space alone and who doesn't read into it like they don't like me enough. It's like that Ariana Grande song, Space. I'ma need space, I'ma need... She says something like, you know, the message of the song is the time we spend apart makes me want you. So you need to give me space. Don't overthink it, but I'll want you even more if you just give me some space. So that's what they need. They need partners who aren't clingy, who don't, you know, misunderstand them, and don't expect them to open up to you and get obsessed with you immediately. Some people really like that. They feel it's like an illusion type of security where they're like, oh, this person is obsessed with me after only a couple dates. I'm safe. And that to me is codependency, baby. I have a whole video on it. But anyway, don't expect them to do that, you know? And don't expect them to commit early on. You need to be playing the field too. Weigh your options, test drive. Do not think so far in the future. Just enjoy the present moment. Also, straightforward communication is the way to have a healthy partnership with them because Sagittarius placements are known for being blunt, very honest, and they'll clear things up for you. They're really not afraid of that. So if you have any insecurities or anything you're confused about, communicate with them. Don't be passive aggressive. Don't be pouty. Oh God, don't be pouty. They are done. They hate that. Be straightforward, you know, communicate, and they will most likely mirror you and be clear as well. You need to be someone who has great communication skills, or else there can be resentment, confusion, and if you haven't worked on your communication skills, then that is on you. As far as money goes, because Venus can influence that, they're not big showy spenders like a Venus in Leo, or maybe like a Venus in an air sign that can be kind of impulsive and like not in the material world, like whatever. But they will spend, definitely, and they can be impulsive because they're fire signs. And they can also justify spending a lot because they're like, well, you know, it'll work out. They're so optimistic. They're like, yeah, no, there's no worries. I'll put this on the charge card and I'll pay it off in a month. No big deal. But I wouldn't say they have a spending problem, most of them. They're just kind of normal with their money. They're not really, really frugal, and they're not big spendthrifts trying to impress people by spending money. But they will spend on nice things and on people that they care about, definitely. And they will spend on experiences. If it means that you're going to set the scene for a wonderful night, or you're going to take a trip, or you are going to treat everybody to drinks at the table because it's just going to make everybody feel good and it's going to get in that party mood, they'll spend money on that. They'll spend money on experiences and good vibes, if that makes sense. And that is all I have to say about Venus and Sagittarius. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, please subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my social media down below if you want to follow me on all of my other accounts. And I will talk to you in my next video. Love you guys so much. Mwah! Bye, guys.